Hi everyone, and welcome to my home version of Karrie on Canvas here at my home studio. I'm going to go ahead and talk to you a little bit about brush maintenance for acrylic painting. Now, for those of you that are new to painting, usually we don't spend a whole lot on our acrylic paint brushes because acrylic paint wears down the brushes so quickly. I usually try to buy brushes that have golden tack-on or golden nylon bristles, all right? And they're usually fairly inexpensive because I do go through them so quickly. One thing to start off with is to help maintain the youth and use of your brushes. The first thing to do is when using your brush, always use water. Get your bristles wet first before applying paint unless you're specifically doing dry brushing. Okay? Now, when you go to either switch colors or switch brushes, always make sure that you rinse the paint off of the brush. So you don't want to be painting with, let's say, a violet, and you decide you want to take your other brush and use a yellow, and you just let this with all this paint just sit here. Okay? Now, if it's a couple seconds, that's different. But if you just let it sit there while you're, zoning into an entire sunset of yellow, that paint's going to start to harden. And no matter how much water you put on it, you're going to lose the shape of your bristles. Okay? So always be sure, if you're going to let a brush sit for longer than, a minute, even less, to make sure you rinse the paint off the brush. Okay? Now, when you're completely through painting and you're done for the day, you want to make sure that you rinse your brushes out with warm water. Sometimes people will use the sink, and that's fine, but be careful that your acrylic paint that's on your bristles can get into your pipes, can also dry up and clog. So what I like to do is I fill a bucket up. I use like these old leftover Folgers plastic containers, and I fill it up with warm water, and I rinse the brush out really well here. Then I add dish soap. Very, very simple. You can use dish soap, you can use brush cleaner, but I think this is it's easy, it's cheap, and I've been doing it for years, and I still have the same brushes that I've been using for the last 6 or 7 years. Of course, they're worn out and have lost their shape, but they're my favorite brushes, so what can you do? Okay, so what you do is you get your brush wet, and don't be afraid to really get in there and push down on the bottom of your bucket to get that paint loose out of the center of your brush. A lot of people are very scared that they're going to hurt their brush, and they'll go very gentle, but we don't need to worry about that. These are acrylic brushes. Unless you're paying like 60 bucks for a brush, then maybe you want to hold on and be careful. Then what I do is I just take a little bit of soap, just like a pea size. You know how dish soap is. It's very, a little bit goes a long way. Sometimes a little pea size might rinse a couple brushes. And what I do is I'll just put a little bit on my hand and rub it like this. And then get the brush nice and sudsy and get all that paint out. And then I'll rinse it in that warm water, okay, so that I see that all the paint's out. Then I'll bring my brushes to the sink and rinse everything else off, all the soap off. Now, another good thing to do too is, let's say your bristles, when you're done for the night, first of all, you never keep your brushes sitting straight up like this after you've washed them. The water will drip down into the handle of the brush and can rot your wood, causing the cracking and all of that good stuff to come loose. So what you want to do is, once you're done rinsing your brush, okay, get all the excess, squeeze all the excess water off. All right. Now, the other thing is to take a comb. This is just a baby hair comb, all right? And what I do is I comb the bristles through. Because sometimes in the center here, you'll get bristles kind of looped up, and you just want to push them through, okay? Kind of unknot them a little bit, all right? Then, this seems really weird, but my old mentor taught me this, and if you don't feel comfortable doing it, don't, but your saliva actually will keep the shape of your brushes. So you actually will, just like that, and then reshape your brush, and then lay it flat to dry. That's it. Very, very simple. Anytime you have a brush that does have dried paint in it, you can put hot water on it, let it soak for a little bit. Sometimes it will actually make that acrylic paint dry similar to like a plastic, and it will make it bendable enough that you can pull it from the bristles. You may still have little pieces stuck in there, but your brush still may be rescued somewhat if you take care of it fast enough. And that is that on taking care of your brushes. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me at karrieevenson@gmail.com or go to my website at karrievensonart.com. Thanks guys, see you later, bye-bye.